All right, boys and girls, this is my first YouTube video. I'm going to explain to you how I am currently 25 years old and I made $2.5 million in the past 2 years. But I'm also going to give you the run up to that before that. And it's split into two parts. First part is pre Cold Email Wizard and part two is post Cold Email Wizard, right? So my name is Daniel Fazio. I created that Cold Email Wizard account. I'm this guy. I own this. I've had this for just over 2 years. I have 5 software companies. I have a coaching program called Ascension, and I'm going to walk you through all the stuff I did before all of that and how some failed and how I ended up doing my current one, right? And just so you know, I'm not bullshitting you here. Here's a bunch of Stripe screenshots and whatnot. The total is $2.522 million, just over 2 years since I created that Twitter account, right? So this is all money from part 2 only, right? Part 2 is after I made Cold Email Wizard. Part 1 is before I made Cold Email Wizard. And then if you want to skip to part 2, I'm going to put chapters in this YouTube video so you can see that. But side note, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video if you want me to make more videos about diving into particular topics. I'm going to get into more actual in-depth stuff in part 2, but I'm going to walk you through the actual ascension of this so far, right? So part 1 is pre-Cold Email Wizard. I graduated college at 20 years old. I graduated a year early because I did a bunch of college classes in high school, right? So 1 week away from graduating, I saw a YouTube video that said how to make $10,000 a month with FBA, Amazon FBA. Guy had 30 or 40 YouTube videos. I watched every single one within 2 days, and I literally within that week, I was at the bank wiring $6,000 to some random manufacturer in China. The lady's like, "Are you sure you're not getting scammed?" I'm like, "Fucking yeah, let's go, let's rip. I'm not getting scammed. I'm sending $6,000 to China, right?" Slapped my own logo on it, bought 600 of these little beer bottle insulators, and they were listed on Amazon 3 weeks later. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and coincidentally, it was Father's Day, so I sold all 600 of these at 100 to 150% markup, made $7,500 profit in the first month. It was the most insane shit that's ever happened to me in my life. It was fucking nuts, right? So I'm really thankful I actually got lucky with that, because that was the tipping point where it's there's no going back now. There's literally no chance I could ever go work at the standard job ever in my life, right? So the bad part about it was that I thought I was smart, so I went and bought a bunch of stupid shit and ended up losing all the capital, right? So the problem is if you're running a physical product business, you need capital. You have to use money, and it's tied up for so long. So I needed to make money without using capital, right? So at this point is when Tai Lopez social media marketing course was making the rounds. So I bought that, and it was actually one of the best decisions of my life because it led to what would follow this, right? Next thing I did was kind of a marketing agency type thing, Facebook ads and whatnot. So I vividly remember this guy, Joe Soto, in the Tai Lopez course explaining how to email business owners and get them on the phone. And actually finding business is 90% of what you're doing in your company, the actual selling of the shit. I didn't even realize that, right? I was just kind of under the impression oh yeah, you make some business and you magically get a bunch of sales. Does not work like that at all. Literally, if you can't find business, you're just going to go broke. Literally the entire function. This is why people in sales organizations, you see some giant company and they take the sales team out on luxury vacations and whatnot because they make the money. Right? It's the hardest thing to do. It's actually go acquire the money. Right? This is why you get a software company, the developers, they're not going on the vacations and doing all of the fun shit. Right? It's the dudes who make the money. It's the breadwinners. That's who gets rewarded, right? If you can figure out how to acquire business, you are rewarded for it in both respect and monetary value. So, right? So I was sending cold emails from a Gmail, no domain, straight fucking raw dogging that to every single business possible, right? My first client was a club, all right? I was charging them 15% of ad spend on Facebook ads with the following strategy. I was always diving deep into YouTube, all the little marketing strategies, but they throw specials every Friday and Saturday at the club. So I made Facebook Messenger ads using ManyChat that would deliver them a little special card that they'd go to the bar and get drink deals with it. So if somebody showed this special little thing, that sale was attributed to me, so he knew it was actually working, right? So I did a bunch of other stuff with other clients like real estate agents and med spas, and playing around with them is how I started getting into CRMs and whatnot. And it's just really going through an actual ascension of learning things. This is what people don't really talk about. They're people go, "You just need to learn Facebook ads and you'll you'll never starve again, or you just need to learn email marketing and like you'll eat forever. It's like absolute fucking bullshit. You need to know like literally everything. Like you need to be minimally viably competent in basically every single thing imaginable. If someone says, "Oh, you need to know is this," fucking bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about, right? So, basically stopped this business when I was at a bar one night. One of my friends, he comes up and he shows me these on Instagram. These dudes driving Maseratis and they're running a marketing agency. And I've been reading Russell Brunson stuff. I was playing around with ClickFunnels, reading his books and going through his courses. So, um, as a actually intelligent person would do, I look at their page, figure out the service, see how much they're charging. Said to myself, I know for a fact I can run the client acquisition better than these people. So I replicated that shit exactly, right? Which brought me to the Instagram agency. Here's how that worked. It was $97 a month for 500 followers a month, and $147 for 1,000 followers a month. Right. So these guys were extremely vague about how they actually got results for their clients. So I had to figure this out on my own by going to YouTube and just like searching how to get Instagram followers. Right. And this led me to this one dude who made a bunch of videos and like Instagram automation course using Jarvee. Right. It was follow, unfollow. This is when the Instagram activity feed had the following tab. And what they would do, these fucking Maserati dudes, they go on their landing page and they'd be like, yeah, we use engagement tactics and whatnot. It just never specified. It's follow, unfollow, right? It was so annoying to me. So when I made mine, I very clearly specified on the page, I'm like, how do we get you followers? We follow people and unfollow them. I was so clear about what exactly was happening here. And I think that's why a lot of people bought from me. And I had VSL, a video on the page that explained how it worked, and they like the upfrontness about that, right? This doesn't work anymore, though. You can't do this, but there was a period of time where it worked so well. It was so funny. So I bought that one dude's course, figure out how to use Jarvee, then went on Instagram and picked the niche. There's like 10 million fitness coaches on Instagram, so I picked them. Emailed 300 to 4 of them, offering to work for free just to get results plastered to my landing page. Right, got 5 people, worked with them for 3 months, got them a bunch of followers. Slapped before and after photos on the landing page. Right now, I was ready to start prospecting for actual paid clients. Right, I was manually going through Instagram hashtags, sending out personalized emails like 3 hours a day, every single day. Right, so that business got to 12K a month in 4 months, and it was like really growing fast. I was really doing a good job with that. So at that point, I'm 21, fresh out of college, making 12K a month, and like it was just amazing. Now Instagram has an algorithm update and it literally destroys the entire business overnight. So like 12K a month is gone, absolutely vanishes, and now I feel like a fucking loser again. Right. So that was funny. So again, destiny occurs, and I logically proceed to making a lead gen agency. So like the logical progression was just an inception of what I already did. I'm just going to sell something to a past version of myself, right? So it's like, all right, I just built up this Instagram agency using cold email. I'm just going to go sell cold email as a service to other people. So that's exactly what I did, right? Able to acquire a bunch of clients using cold email. After the business got destroyed, obviously knew how to run client acquisition and for marketing offers. So I just went into that for other people. Right now, I'm starting to get into like talking to like real agencies, talking to real business owners. Because at this entire point, like I have no community, none of my friends are doing what I'm doing, and like I'm just like fucking alone. And I'm like actually getting on like sales calls of people who are like running real businesses. So it starts to open your eyes to some stuff. So like I'm not working with little 12K a month guys. I'm talking with guys who are making like 100K a month who are selling like 5K, 20K packages. Right. So I was selling my stuff at $2,000 a month, guaranteeing 10 calls. Over time, gradually raise it to 4,000, guaranteeing more meetings, understanding LTV and churn. You really start to understand more stuff. Like you learn CRMs and how to be better in sales calls and how to sell higher ticket deals and conversion windows and basically all that, right? So, but inherently, I'm a marketer. I don't like doing the sales system, I like to kind of design the system. I like to gather attention, right? I like to generate the phone call. I don't like to execute the phone call and the sales system. I prefer to let other people do that, right? So I'm like, all right, let me pull some Russell Brunson shit here. I'm gonna make a fucking Twitter account called Cold Email Wizard, and I'm gonna sell a low price course on how to execute cold email campaigns, right? I'm gonna put the purchasers through a follow up sequence and sign them as clients. They're already gonna be pre sold by the time they get on the phone, which is gonna allow me to do what I like the most. gathering attention, right? And just like growing that social media profile. So I made the Twitter account, Cold Email Wizard. Turns out I'm one of the best info product marketers on the planet. And now here we go. Here's part 2, right? So I make Cold Email Wizard, start posting some tweets, engaging with people. The actual act of growing on Twitter is an in-depth topic in and of its own that I will make a video on. If you comment on this video right here, you like and subscribe to me, right? Do it. But here's what it looked like. So month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $115,000 in month 7. Like I'm so good at this, right? I'm too good at Twitter, right? So it just rips, takes off astronomical levels, like fulfilled the purpose, was getting clients. But when you see numbers coming in like that, like the sheer quantity of people, that was 1,000 people that purchased from me, right? You're like, how can I mega scale this and make the most amount of money as is conceivably possible, right? Which leads me to what occurred next, right? So when you send cold emails, what I'm teaching people to do here is you have to use a bunch of software, right? You got to scrape the emails, you got to write the emails, you got to do the email warm up, you got to send the emails, right? And I'm pointing all these people to these other software apps and not getting compensated for it in any fashion. So I'm like, this is stupid. So if you're an intelligent human being, you're like, all right, let me make the different software apps myself, right? So met a bunch of people who were software developers, because like you're on social media, like you make friends with people, right? The function of social media is to be social and make relationships with people. So that's what I've been doing this entire time, right? So know a bunch of developers. So we started coding apps one by one, right? So I launched first 2 SaaSes in the same week: Contact Ecommerce for scraping e-commerce brands, and Clean Leads, which is for scraping LinkedIn, getting emails from LinkedIn, right? Instantly, each of them make 20K month 1. So like 20K, and then like Cold Email Master, whatever that made in that month. So it was fucking absurd, the amount of money I was making. It was insane, right? So I still have these today. They still make money throughout the next 8 months, and just keep replicating every single one. So here's all the ones I have now: Contact Ecom, scraping ecom brands; Clean Leads, scraping LinkedIn; Mailerizer for sending cold emails. I'm in the process of selling this right now because like it's managing a sending app. It's buggy as shit, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. Quick Lines, automatically writing personalized lines to inject into the first sentence of cold email. Scrape Info is like a bunch of leads scraped from Instagram, right? So like coaches and consultants and whatnot. So now I've got all of these SaaSes come to realize that running an agency is a phenomenal way to make 60K to 80K a month, but it's a miserable way to make 200K a month. So I stopped doing the agency and just started sending out referrals, right? So the next project at this point is Client Ascension, right? And that's a coaching program that helps people to go from 5K a month to 50K to 80K a month, around there. And there are 3 things you can sell. You can sell do it yourself, which would contain courses and software. You could sell it done with you, which would be a coaching and consulting, or you could sell it done for you, which would be an agency, or like a hybrid between an agency and coaching, right? A hybrid done for you, done with you. I teach people in Client Ascension how to make all of these in exactly the same fashion I've executed myself, and how to grow those companies, starting with cold email and then building large brands like mine, right? It's the same shit every time. Like you're in some industry, and there's all these different categories of things you can sell. So you might as well just sell all of them, right? So things get sophisticated at like 150K a month. Like you have to start paying attention to what people are doing if you want to get above that, right? So I'm at like 200K a month right now. So I'm like, now I'm actively in this trench where I'm just like hyper focusing, right? So the market, if you've paid attention throughout the past couple of years, this is what has happened, right? Like 2015 was like courses and shit. Everyone was selling courses. Then everyone got a hard on for fucking high ticket coaching, just like the biggest massive hard on. And then now it's starting to shift to like a hybrid, done for you, done with you. That's the guys who are doing really, really hard numbers are doing that, right? It's something you sell to sophisticated buyers. You sell this to like people who are like 80K a month plus. I'm going to give you an example. This guy, Cole Gordon, he has an offer to place an appointment setter who will outbound call your opted in leads inside your coaching business. I bought that, right? That's a hybrid, done for you, done with you, right? There's things they do for you, but it also requires work on your end. It's not a full agency service, but it's like not full coaching, right? You can charge more money for these things. Because the kind of person who buys it is a more sophisticated buyer, and they need one puzzle piece. They already know what the puzzle piece is, right? And they just need that puzzle piece injected into their organization, right? The buyer knows what the puzzle piece is. They have money, so when they buy, they're already sold in the idea, and they're just buying speed. They're just buying speed, right? So this is basically how things work. Guys below 5K a month will buy courses and low price memberships. Guys 5K to 50K will buy coaching. Guys 50K a month buy hybrid done for you and also coaching, and everybody buys software. Everybody on earth will buy that, right? But you know, you're probably, well, where do agencies fit in? Dumb people use agencies. Right? Non-intelligent people use agencies, right? So 80% of business owners don't want to rely on an agency. So you might as well just sell a hybrid done with you, done for you, right? Right? Smart people don't rely on agencies, right? People will pay you to design systems for them in-house, right? Like, you're never gonna hear someone say, I took my company to 20 million per year by hiring this agency. You said no one fucking ever, right? Didn't happen. Never will, right? So they'll buy productized services, like design this email, edit this video, and like just things like that. But it's never like not do all the lead generation in the entirety of my company. So it's like inherently, people just, it's just funny. Smart people don't. What smart people will do is they'll like use an agency for a little bit, and they're like, actually, I'm going to take this in house. I know this works. I'm going to own the system. I'm not going to rent expertise from someone. I'm going to own it. I'm going to inject it in here. It's going to be SOPs where I can replicate this knowledge to other people continuously, right? It's going to be mine. They're going to own it. That's what smart people do. So inherently, if you're running an agency, that's exactly what's going to happen all the fucking time. You're going to get clients who are like, you know what? I think you're doing a really good job, but I think we want to take this in-house because they're smart. They want to own the system. But if you're smart, what you should do is extract even more LTV from them by selling them a hybrid done for you, done with you, right? Some kind of coaching or consulting. Okay, Mr. Prospect, I understand you want to take this in-house and you would like to own the system. So how about whoever you go hire, you can buy consulting from me. I will teach them how to do it. So now you have extracted more lifetime value from that customer who was otherwise going to churn anyway. And that's why you need to have a hybrid done for you, done with you type shit. You need to sell everything, right? You want to know how to do that? You want to know how to be smart? Go to clientascension.com. You can join Client Ascension. I'll show you all the little master tricks, right? So, lesson I have learned. Your income level is directly proportional to how much social proof you have, right? Code Email Mastery made $1 million because it has absurd amount of social proof, right? Client Ascension will make over $1 million in the first year. It's gonna break that, right? It's not a year old yet, but it's gonna have even more absurd social proof, right? If your thing doesn't work, there's no amount of marketing that's gonna save you, right? And how social proof should be presented is a topic in and of itself that I'm gonna talk about in another video. The way I rocketed Cold Email Mastery up to 115K a month in 7 months is like the most intelligent fucking shit I've ever done in my life. It's actually insane how smart that was. I need to make a video because it was all social proof. It was all like this just flywheel. Social, the way I presented it, just getting the maximum amount of people to see was so smart. And I have to make a video on that. But you need to do this. You need to check the description of this video for all my stuff. You need to subscribe to this channel, right? You need to like this video, and you need to comment what you want to see next on this video, right? Because if you do this and this and this, it's going to increase the likelihood that I do make another video. It's going to increase the speed with which I do so, right? So show me some love, please. This is my first YouTube video, and I will see you on the next one, my friends.